Whew. Alright, here we go. I don't know what I'm getting myself into here. What is up, guys? It's Simon from PianoPig.com, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm attempting to practice for 12 hours in one day. Now, I was on YouTube and I saw a few people doing this thing called the Charlie Parker Challenge, which I believe this channel called Saxologic started. So you've really got me into a situation if you're watching this. But I hadn't seen anyone attempt this on the piano, so I thought I'd give this a go because, you know, you hear stories of people like Oscar Peterson, Charlie Parker, John Coltrane. You know, they're all saying they practice for, or at least they had a period in their lives where they practiced for like up to 15 hours a day, which is just absolutely ridiculous. So I just kind of wanted to see, well, one, is that even possible for me? And two, like, how productive is that? Like, is that actually a good use of time, or is my brain just gonna melt and I'm not even gonna know what's what anymore? So yeah, we'll just see what happens. 12 hours of practice, that's a serious amount of practice. I've never practiced for more than 4 hours before, and even that's like very, very occasionally. You know, my average is probably around 2 hours a day. Let me know in the comments, what's the longest you've ever practiced for in one day? Anyway, we've got an early start. It is 7:15 AM. Hopefully we'll get this done by the evening. So for some accountability, I'm gonna put this camera on a time lapse while I'm practicing, so you can see what's what. I'll have a timer on my phone, and during the times I have a little break or make some food, I'll be pausing the timer. Now that timer is only running when I'm sat at the piano practicing. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna focus on various concepts and cycle through them as I get bored. So maybe like half an hour or so on each concept and then move on to something else. I don't really know what's gonna happen. Let's jump into the first session. All right, stopwatch. It has begun. I think I'm gonna start off with some scales. Got a lot of time to practice, so there's no point on missing out the essentials. Right, how about some major scales? Yeah. Alright guys, that's 1 hour down. I've had a 5-minute break and now I'm going straight into hour 2. I might break this one up. The first hour was just all scales, which I never practiced scales for an hour. That's pretty ridiculous. Maybe I'll do some like chordal stuff, some voicings. So yeah, here we go. Whew. Right, that was another intense hour, but I already got into that. I was just taking some different chords and voicings through all 12 keys, doing different patterns around the circle of fifths, fourths, chromatically, whole tone, diminished. Like, there's all sorts of cool different patterns which you can take voicings through to help internalize them. And I've just spent about an hour and 15 minutes doing that, which is pretty fun. So we are at 2 hours 15 seconds. You see that? Yeah. I've paused it because I definitely need a break. Smoothie time, I think. So I just wanted to quickly talk a little bit about practice, because what I'm attempting to do today, I just don't think anyone should do it, really. I've done 2 hours and 15 minutes of practice, and if I just stopped for the day, I'd be happy with that. I feel like I've done quite a lot. But 12 hours is just crazy. And you know, what I'm always going on about to my students and like members of the PianoPig Academy is that focused, consistent practice is so much more beneficial than like not really practicing much for a week and then having one 12-hour session. You know, you'd be so much better off just practicing for an hour, 2 hours every day, and that to be really focused. And it's the consistency, I think, is the most important thing. So yeah, I don't recommend this, but it's an interesting experiment, and we've only just begun really, so God knows what's gonna happen to me later. I guess I'm ready. Let's do it. So I have been playing on my normal kind of studio keyboard, but I'm gonna transition to the upright. All right. So I've just done another hour, almost. 3 hours and 9 minutes. Just pause that. And I can feel the effects of this. I basically just spent an hour going over all the things you are, which is just a standard I'm sort of going deep with at the moment. Did a bunch of different tune learning exercises, like chord tone exercises, scale exercises, just like all these like limitations in order to really learn the harmony and learn how to like improvise it to a high level. And yeah, like just little bebop approach patterns. I think I literally spent half an hour playing this pattern and nothing else over each chord tone in the whole tune. My ability to talk is already going. It's only been 3 hours. Whew! Quarter of the way through. I definitely need a break, and then we'll get back to it. I've had a bit of a break, ready to smash on, and yeah, it is almost 12 o'clock, so noon PM, and I'm going to do some transcription. I'm going to do something I've been wanting to do for months and months, which is Charlie Parker's solo over Now's the Time, which I believe is just a blues in F. It's an awesome solo, good for developing bebop language. And transcription I find just flies by. When I transcribe and get into it, I can easily do that for an hour or two, so we'll see what happens. At least an hour I'm going to try and do on this, but maybe longer. Let's see. Whew. I am getting jazzed out. 4 hours. That's like, oh. So we've got another 8 hours to go if I'm gonna do this. It's now 1:10. Oh, feel like I'm beginning to lose my marbles. A little break, 5 minute. No, let's have some lunch. I literally can't even think straight. Whew. Whew. I don't know what I've got myself into. I'm about 4 hours in. I feel like I've been practicing for days. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do this. I've got another 8 hours left. But we'll see what happens. Alright team, we are currently at 4 minutes and 13 seconds. No, 4 hours and 13 minutes. I can't believe we're only a third of the way through. Quick update, we are 5 hours and 21 minutes in. And this last hour or so has been pretty good, actually. I've just been going really deep with a couple like 5-note voicings. Some really nice rootless voicings that I've just been taking through all sorts of patterns, applying them to various standards, and I feel like it's been really productive actually. Earlier my brain was completely melting, but I think that's just because I was doing pretty high intensity stuff, whereas now I'm sort of just balancing stuff out a little bit and spending less time on each individual thing, so I kind of have that cycle and I don't get so overwhelmed. So yeah, it is 3:10 in the afternoon. I've got a Zoom call with a couple people at 4, so that gives me 50 minutes. That'll also get me to over halfway. 50 minutes, I'll be over 6 hours. Oh, I don't even want to think about the next 6 hours. If this is happening, it's gonna be a late night. All right, onwards. Oh, blimey. All right, we are halfway through 6 hours, if you can see that. To be fair, I think the last few hours have been the most productive. Like hours 4 to 6, I'd say I've actually gone really deep into some really interesting stuff, and actually been making progress and having fun with it. I definitely need a bit of a break, which is longer than 5 minutes. But luckily I have a Zoom call with some other lovely people that also do musical things. So I'll have a little chat with them, see where we're at. It's now 4 PM, break time, hopefully not too long, and then we will get back to it for the second half. Alright, Zoom call done. I went on a bit longer than intended. It is 4:45. And we're 6 hours in, 6 hours to go. So yeah, I think I'm gonna play around with some pentatonics and like playing outside with them, like shifting them up around, like, you know, outside improvisation kind of stuff. Maybe apply that to some patterns, to some standards. So I reckon I could get pretty into that. So maybe we'll do like 40 minutes, an hour of that, and see where we're at. Let's do it. That session was alright. It started off really productive and then gradually got harder and harder as my attention span decreased. We're currently about 7 hours in and I don't know if I'm gonna make this. I really don't. I think if I'm gonna do this, I need to just smash out a big session pretty soon. So I'm gonna have a very short break and then try have a mega session and then see where we're at. Na, 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 na. Right. That session started off okay, but by the end of that got very out of hand very quickly. Oh, that was rapidly deteriorating, that one. So it is about 8 PM. We are 9 hours in, and I think I have no alternative other than to order a Domino's. I was gonna cook, but to be honest, in my current state of mind, I think I'd end up just walking around the kitchen singing pentatonic scaled patterns. So, gonna have a break, gonna get a Domino's, and then I guess we've got 3 hours remaining, which we'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. Here we go. Whew, I absolutely destroyed that pizza. Had about a 45-minute break and I've got 3 hours left and I'm gonna see what I can do. At the end of that last session, my brain was just literally no longer capable of retaining any new information. I'm full of pizza now, so I don't know if that's gonna be any better. But 3 hours left. I'm gonna try and split that up into 2 90-minute sessions if possible, just because that seems a little bit more manageable. And I'm worried I'll sort of just pass out if I break it up any more than that. Let's see what happens. Holy shit. Ooh, jazz. 10.5 hours. So that last 90 minutes was rapidly deteriorating again. I actually ended up going back to some of the stuff I was doing earlier in the day just because I literally... I just entered a sort of zombie mode. No, I'm sounding all negative. It's all good. I think we're gonna do it. We've just got another 90 minutes left. Which just sounds ridiculous even saying that right now, because that just seems... But I'm gonna give it a go. I'm going to give it a go. I need to go to bed. 10 or 15 minute break, and then I will attempt another 90 minutes. And then that'll be it. Oh. don't even know if this is practice anymore. Oh. Shit. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's done. I can go to bed. I don't have to play the piano anymore. Mission complete. 12 hours of practice. Why did I do that again? That was just a bit unnecessary, really. I know. I feel like I've absolutely lost the plot, to be honest. My brain has completely shut down. I don't know if you'd call that practice, really, this last session. I would sort of try as hard as I could to focus on something, and then next thing I know, I'm trying to play the chromatic scale as fast as I possibly can. I think my attention span right now is probably less than a goldfish, and I just don't think this is healthy. Honestly, I don't recommend trying this. I do not recommend trying this out. You do not need to practice for 12 hours in a day. Just do 1, maybe 2. That's cool. That's great. 2 hours. Nice. I guess it was productive, and it does go to show how powerful focused practice can be, and also goes to show how unproductive unfocused practice can be. It's all about how focused and how sort of goal orientated the practice is. So I'm gonna have to call that a night and go to bed. Mission complete. Thank you, YouTube, and good night.